So from now on, whenever you have a goal, the only question you ask is how. Whenever you have a problem, the only question you ask is, how do I solve it? If you want to double your income, the only question you ask is, how do I double my income? So I want you to say the words. Say how. Now, say it again. How. Wonderful. From now on, whenever there's anything in your life that you want to change, the only question you ask is how. Because how is the question of the top 10%. How is the question of the self-responsible person. How is the question of the action-oriented person. The person who asks how is one of the top people in our society. Everyone works for and under the people who think in terms of how. Here's a good point. Every goal that you could ever have has already been achieved by someone. Every problem you could ever have has already been solved by someone. Every question you could ever ask has already been answered by someone. Your question is simply to ask, how? How did others do it? And there's a rule in success that says success leaves tracks. In other words, there are tracks to any kind of success you want, and your job is to find the tracks and follow the tracks to double your income, to create a wonderful life. All the answers have been found. And nobody's better than you, nobody's smarter than you. If someone is doing better than you today, there's a simple explanation. They figured out how before you did. That's all. And here's another discovery. Anything anyone else has done, you can do as well. If they have done it, that means you can do it. We're not talking about being an Olympic athlete. We're not talking about winning a Nobel Prize in physics. We're just talking about being a big success in life. And if there are hundreds of thousands or millions of other people who are successful starting from very little, it means that you can do it as well. as long as you keep asking the question, how? Okay. So, we find in interviewing these people that the top people have one special quality. And this is a quality that makes South Korea one of the great countries in the world today. Not because of size, but because of your accomplishments. "20 years ago, 50 years ago, South Korea was a very different country from today. Today, South Korea is one of the most respected countries in the world. And soon, if your coach works out, the South Korean soccer team will be one of the most respected soccer teams in the world, right? If Gus Riddick can get everybody working together, soon you will be one of the top, if not the #1 soccer team in the world. It's going to happen because Gus Riddick has only one question, and that's how. How do we make this a world-class soccer team? Right? So we ask, what is the most important quality for success, happiness, and long life? Can you guess what the most important quality is? Well, the answer is very simple. In interviewing tens of thousands of successful people, they find the #1 quality is the quality of optimism. Successful people are optimists. They are positive about themselves and their future. They think about what they want most of the time, and they are what we call realistic optimists. That means they recognize that there are a lot of problems in the world, but they are realistic and they're optimistic about solving the problems and achieving their goals. So what we learned is this. Is that optimism is a quality of mind and you can compare your mind with your body in this way. Is you can have physical fitness just as you can have mental fitness. Now, if you want to be physically fit, you exercise physically. That's how you become physically fit. And you might have to exercise for a long time. If you want to become mentally fit, which is if you want to become an optimist, you have to exercise mentally as well. And so we find that optimists have 3 special ways of thinking. that you can practice, and when you practice them, you become an optimist. When you become an optimist, you are happier, you are more successful, you have higher self-esteem. You like other people more, other people like you and want to do business with you. When you are an optimist, every door opens for you. If you're a pessimist, every door closes. By the way, before I tell you the keys to optimism, to learning how to become an optimist, can you guess what unhappy, negative, unsuccessful people think about most of the time? Well, the answer is they think the opposite way from optimists. Optimists think about what they want and how to get it. Pessimists think about what they don't want, their problems, and who's to blame. Optimists think about the future and where they're going. Pessimists think about the past and who hurt them in the past. Optimists let go of the past because they can't do anything about it. Pessimists hold on to the past because it's all they have. So your job is to let go of the past.